All right, here's Bill Zadick, fresh off that trip from Turkey. Bill, can you just give me your overall impressions of how the trip went for you?
Yeah, it was a great trip. Excellent experience for our junior athletes. Um, it was a really high quality tournament in Izmir. The Champions Junior Tournament is the name of the competition, and it's always going to be a strong competition because it's in a part of the world that Of course, Turkey's a good, strong wrestling nation, and then the countries that surround it in close proximity. So you're going to draw a lot of the better competitors, but this year you had a lot of those top countries using it as a trial, a proving ground for their junior teams who they're going to send to junior Europeans very soon. So Russia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, of course Turkey, you had a lot of the better guys in their countries at certain weights to, maybe their ones, twos, and threes, and some weights as deep as four to compete and prove themselves. So we benefited from the opportunity to wrestle with many of the better guys from each of those countries. So overall, it was a great experience.
Can you talk about, you had two guys win gold, so can you talk about their performances, Nickel and Snyder?
Yeah, Bo Nickel at 84 kilo and Kyle Snyder at 96 kilo both won the gold medal and wrestled great tournament. I already talked about the depth of the competition, so they all had several. They both had several good matches, and the name of the game is putting points on the board. And when we put points on the board, we put ourselves in position to win and get the desired outcome. So with Bo, he did that very well, and he had some tough, hard-fought matches. It was back and forth, and he did a very good job of keeping his composure and continuing to score points, which is the best thing you can do in a given situation. It's a hostile environment. You're halfway around the world. You're tired from travel. The food's not what you're used to. It's not your bed, and you're in a hostile country. Hostile meaning that they don't want you to win, right? So everything's pretty much going against you, and you have to learn how to overcome those outside factors and focus on competing and performing. And in the midst of that, Bo did a great job. I mean, even in the finals match, it was 10-10. That's a lot of points in a finals match. So he did a great job. Kept things moving, kept his opponents moving, and kept attacking, and put himself in the best position to win the tournament, and he did a great job. And likewise for Kyle. Has gone out and worked hard. Really competitive kid, as they all are, and wrestled some very good matches, put a lot of points up in the earlier rounds. And in the finals, it came down to, it was a tie also, criteria, in both athletes were put on the shot clock, and that's, with the onset of the shot clock rule where they put you behind the 30-second period with the obligation to score, and then if there's no score, you get a caution and a point against you. So that was 1-1. And in a situation like that, the Russian that he wrestled in the finals, a really good defensive wrestler, doesn't do a lot as far as leg attack offense, likes over-unders and slowing things down and kind of forcing an athlete to make a mistake and either counter score or maybe jack you up into over-under type situation and some of the throws. And Kyle did a very good job of shutting that stuff down. But there again, when a guy's working as hard as possible to do nothing, we still have to be able to put points on the board. So exciting tournament when you can go over and take a young team like this and into that kind of an environment and that quality of competition and come out away with 2 gold medals. We're excited.
Right, and you mentioned 2 finals, 2 ties, or 2 tie scores in the finals. So,
yeah.
I mean, what are you telling them in the corner, keeping the composure and sort of the tight matches? You have to be happy with what you saw out of them. They both won, obviously. But, I mean, what's the sort of the strategy there?
Strategy is just to keep doing what you're doing. You have to work very hard at doing what you're best. And, sometimes the guys, for example, a guy that's one of the hardest opponents to wrestle is somebody who likes to cling on and do nothing. And you have to be very proactive about creating movement and action and opportunity. And so if that means not clinging on, you have to move ahead of that tie-up. You have to pass elbows. You have to snap down. You have to move your feet. You have to level change and create dynamics into the wrestling, into the match. Kyle did a very good job. I mean, he was in on some near takedowns and some things, and it's a process. It's a process with Bo. Same deal. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing the things that make you best. Keep those up. Work very hard at making those attempts be there, and that's the best opportunity to put ourselves in the position we want to be in. So, typically of international competition, what our athletes have to adjust to is learning how to deal with tie-ups, and whether it's over-under position, the underhook, double overs, that kind of situation, 2-on-1s, guys really hanging on wrists, low hand, fingers, wrist ties, baseball grip ties. And when we're able to control those ties or work very hard in those scenarios, we create offensive opportunity. And so that's when we were able to do those things, we did very well. When we were a little bit less proactive and kind of wanting, it's almost like an athlete wants to drill. And you go out there and you kind of expect it to be nice and fluid and smooth, and it doesn't happen that way. You got to be willing to fight for that. So that's really the dynamics of the competition. When we weren't able to do those things, we struggled. When we were able to do those things, we did very well. So
cool. Well, a lot of talk about Pico, obviously. Can you talk about his tournament? His progression. Yeah. What it looks like he needs to work on, that kind of thing.
Yeah, Aaron, obviously he's a great kid. He's doing great things. He's very successful. Didn't see the results that he wanted in this competition particularly. And but it really doesn't change my opinion of what his potential is. In my opinion, the sky's the limit still. And he's a very good athlete. He's a very focused individual. And the reality is, to my knowledge, nobody ever in the history of our sport has come away without suffering a loss. And when that happens, it's a setback. You evaluate, you figure out the things that you did wrong, things that you did well, and you want to continue to do those, and you improve in the other areas. So this will be an opportunity for him to get better. At the same time, everybody's a competitor. I'm a competitor. He's a competitor. So when you step on the mat, you want to win everything, every time. And when you put a lot into it and it means a lot to you, it hurts. So, that's, in a nutshell, that's where he is. He's got a few things to work on and get better in some positions that were exposed or identified. Not that they were identified there. I think he'd been working, and he'll continue to get better. And I really have no doubts about his future performance. So, unfortunate that he wasn't able to go and win like he wanted to, and that we wanted for him. But at the same time, I know he'll move forward in a positive way.
Right. And just any other thoughts or takeaways from this tournament that you have?
Just really excited about what's going on with our developmental teams and moving forward to the Junior World Trials. I know we have a ton of talented athletes in the United States, and looking forward to see who rises to the top to make that team, and excited to work with those kids and those athletes and get them all on a gold medal podium in Croatia in August.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Bill. Thanks.
Thank you.